Today is day 268 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on yet again here at freeCodeCamp. We are starting with we are starting with sorted union. Whatever the deuce that means. Let's find out, shall we? Sorted union. Write a function that takes two or more arrays and returns a new array of unique values in the order of the original provided array. Whoa, what? You know what, let's read through it. We'll read through it a second time. In other words, all values present from all arrays should be included in their original order, but with no duplicates in the final array. So 132 blah 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 5214 blank blank blank. There's a smattering of repeats across a couple different arrays. We want just the unique occurrences in order in a single array. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. That's what I'm taking away from this so far. The unique numbers should be sorted by their original order, but the final array should not be sorted. The unique numbers should be sorted by their original order, but the final array should not be sorted in numerical order. Interesting. Check the assertions test for examples. Remember to use read, search, ask. If you get stuck, try to pair program, write your own code. Here's some helpful links. Arguments, objects, and array prototype reduce. Arguments, object, array prototype reduce. Unite, unique. Unique, New York. Okay. What am I looking at? 1, 3, 2. Those are all unique occurrences. 5 is unique. 2 is a repeat. 1 is also a lie. 4 is unique. 2 and 1 are meaningless because we've encountered them before. Fascinating. So that is what we are looking for. Wow, and look at this. So these are multi-level arrays, multi-dimensional arrays. See, we've got 3 arrays total. 2 of them are multi-dimensional. Oh my god, Topher! The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Yes! For the kill. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna need to drop that was a reference, but you got it. Of course you didn't fail me, Topher. Oh, good. Good on you, man. Spectacular. That's great. Well, we can end the stream. That counts as a success. Hot damn. Glowstorm, how are you doing? That's spectacular. For everyone not in the loop, everyone being the 3 of us, that was an Anchorman reference, a very subtle Anchorman reference that Topher just snatched out of thin air. Beautiful, completed play by Topher. That's great. That's spectacular. Glowstorm, I am good. How are you? We are doing well. We are doing well. It was a long day, but we did good. Me and the missus, and a friend went to Universal Studios in Hollywood. Yeah, or technically Universal Hollywood Studios. I don't know. We were in LA. We went to Universal Studios. Checked that out. We checked out the new. Does it still count as new? It's still new. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter and whatnot, that was sort of the main event for the day, mainly because it was the newest thing there. Plus, the park is only open for a couple hours during the middle of the week, but there was like no one there compared to Disneyland. We've frequented Disneyland a couple times in the past with year passes and things like that, and we've just grown accustomed to the 2-hour plus wait times you encounter at Disneyland. But at the Universal Studios, like all the rides and stuff, now it probably has to do with the fact that we went on a Monday during, late September. The rest of the world has gone back to school and stuff like that. And so anyways, but we all took Monday off to go celebrate and hang out. So that was cool. But anyways, the wait times were like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. So 5-10 minute wait times for rides compared to the 2-3 hour wait times at Disneyland. I mean, that was worth it almost for that. But yeah, the Wizarding World, for any Harry Potter fans out there or just fantasy enthusiasts, totally worth checking out. I fall into the Harry Potter realm where I didn't read any of the books. I was the perfect age growing up with Harry Potter, but I got to catch all of the movies, though. So I was in sync in age throughout the educational career of Harry and Friends. So I'm a strong Harry Potter movie advocate, but I have yet to read the books. I should indulge in those. And after going to the whole Wizarding World, there are a lot of diehards who go there, so they seem pretty amped on it. And I kind of feel like after all this time, I should maybe consider reading the books. But good times. Good times. Definitely recommend it to anyone who is slightly interested, even the least. You will not be disappointed. Even if you like the movies, you'll definitely like even checking that out. It's totally worth the trip just for the Wizarding World alone. You don't even need to worry about the rest of Universal Studios, so something to think about. Anywho, unique, so forth, and stuff and such. 1, 2, 3, those are all unique. 5 is unique. Oh, we were looking at the multi-dimensional things. It maintains the fact that 5 is in its own set of brackets and 4 is in its own set of brackets down here. Okay. Similar song and dance to the first bit. 1, 3, 2. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 5. Blah, blah, blah. Single level arrays. Cool. 1, 2. That's just longer and more stuff. Alright, cool. So they recommend using reduce. We haven't had to use reduce in a while. We have not had to use reduce in a while. Arguments, though. Are they just talking about the parameters you feed into an argument? Or is arguments like a thing? The arguments object is an array-like object corresponding to the arguments passed to a function. The arguments object is a local variable available within all non-arrow functions. You can refer to a function's argument within a function by using the arguments object. This object contains an entry for each argument passed to the function. The first entry's index starting at 0, for example. If a function is passed 3 arguments, you can refer to them as follows. Oh, and we can do the same. We have encountered this before, and we've used this because we did another challenge. It may have been from freeCodeCamp, that would make sense, because it was 2 sets of arrays, 1 and 2, in a single parameter. I wonder if it was even in the intermediate set. Sum all numbers, blankety blankety blank. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was above that. Was it the JSON APIs? No. It could have been towards the end of the basic ones. Falsy bouncer, no. Repeat a string. Not important, that's okay. It's, we need to shake the rust off. We need to shake the... Topher. Did you get the project I sent? I didn't see any more, Discord links or notifications, and I checked a couple times. Oh. I don't know why. I just checked now. I didn't see... I totally didn't see those notifications, but they're showing up on my phone that you sent them like an hour or so ago. Let me dive into Discord. You know what? That's strange. The notifications are showing up on my phone, but the... Oh, no, I'm crazy. I'm an idiot. I was going to say the notification numbers aren't showing up on the app, but they are. They are. I'm just oblivious, apparently. Okay. GitHub. Way cool. Way cool. There's just one project for now. Hope you enjoy it. Definitely. Definitely. Clickety-click. README challenges. View code. Quiz 1, read. Build a quiz application. Very cool. Alright. Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to build a quiz application which meets the following specifications. Nice, nice. Okay, good times. There's even an extra credit section, ladies and gentlemen. Topher has gone above and beyond. Good times. As a side note, was it last night's stream? I think it was. I don't know if you caught that or whatnot. No one in particular, although this is slightly directed towards Topher. But yeah, I was yammering last night. I think it was with James Does Games regarding projects and stuff and things to come in the future. I'm going to start to dive into the projectiness stuff of my own starting in October. So I'm trying to decide whether to tackle this project before October or this will be my inaugural project, October 1st. So I'm not sure. It will be within the next couple days. It's already September 25th, so I'll either tackle it in the coming day or two, or I will tackle it October 1st. And then from there, continue on with my own. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's all. But yes, way cool. Thank you for that project. Got the links. I'll be sure to go through that thoroughly when we reach that point. But thank you. Donka, Topher. Donka. Alright. Let's do this. So arguments lets us filter through the first bit, if there's an array or a second array or a third array, in a single parameter. So we would do array 1, array 2, no, array 0 for this, array 1, like so, for the second one, and array 2 for the third one. Very cool, very cool. The next bit that we can focus on is reduce. We have used it before, we should remember, but since we're clueless, we forget. The reduce method applies a function against an accumulator in each element in the array from left to right to reduce it to a single value. How can we compare blank, blank, blank if... I guess it functions almost like filter. If A equals B, we could tell it to not add it to the list. Else A adds B, A plus B, something like that. You know, compare the current one to the other one. Just let it trickle through. Sounds weird, but we'll get there. Yeah, previous and current. Something like that. Something like that. Let it build out. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, sum all the values. Flatten an array of arrays. Yeah, this. Concatenate. Okay, so we want to concatenate functions A and B if A does not equal B, concatenate. It should be structurally very similar to this, also using the arguments thing. It's going to get a little messy as I think it through out loud. Of course, there will be a far more straightforward, elegant solution, but I've got a general hunch that I think we should be able to piece this together. It'll be a little Frankenstein-y from the get-go, right up till the end, but, you know, it's been 260 days. We know this is going to be a shit show, so no surprise there. First things first. Array something or other. We should set up reduce. Now here, they're giving it a variable, flattened. Final, we'll call it final. Variable final. Because that is what they were referencing here, variable final. Look at that, look at that. Variable final equals something evil. Oh. We want to do all three. Maybe variable final is just a placeholder. Yeah. And then from there, because I want to reduce each one. Maybe I don't need to reduce each one individually. See, I kind of want to do dot reduce, but instead of the array, I feel like I should do arguments 0 dot array. That's kind of how I see it in my mind, but for each one, and then we can tell it to update final. You know, down here in the if statement or for loop, at some point will be not returning because it's a for loop, but for visualizing, like plus equals final or concatenating. Don't worry. Think it through, Stephen. Happy thoughts. Let's get arguments something or other. 1, that's not spelled correctly at all. It's been a long day, and everything hurts. Maybe I could do a switch case. That's what we wanted. Arguments 0. Maybe if we did a for loop for array.length for 1, the first array, and then it would loop through I, because really the reduce is already automatically goes through each one individually, so we won't need a for loop for that. We could do a for loop for these guys. My concern is I'm not really sure what to reference, though, for the variable. Because, see, normally it'd be something similar to I, semicolon I, less than, you know, array dot length, but now it would be arguments? Is that weird? It seems odd because all the arguments reference that. I mean, I guess it's not terrible. What if we said final equals? I just don't think it... Oh, no, it's cool with that. Not that we would do this format, but I was just seeing if it would accept it. Alright, we could get there. And argument something. There will be an if loop involved. Topher, in my opinion, you should write this out without reduce first and try to refactor using reduce. A nested for loop would work. Thumbs up. Okay, see, we're just, it's you know, we're slow. We went all the way to Hogwarts today, ladies and gentlemen, and came back. So, you know, normally we're already exhausted, even when we aren't traveling about the world. So now we're extra questionable regarding our mental state. So, yeah. If blank equals blank, do that. We've got our arguments. Just to visualize, arguments is throwing me off. If we're going to have reduce, if, again, in my mind, when we go to reduce, if A doesn't equal B, I'd like to see it do something. But maybe I'm envisioning this in the wrong way. Reduce function AB. So the if statement goes inside the function. So it will be nested. We can do variable final equals variable final equals arguments. Get rid of that semicolon. Dot reduce function A, comma, B? Should I do a C? No, it's just A, comma, B. Curliness with a semicolon. Then we take our if. Put that in. If A is not equal to B, we want it to do something. We don't necessarily need to have an else. And eventually we'll be returning so forth and such. We can get rid of that variable. Okay. I think we're floating in the right direction. We're listing. I wouldn't say we're listing with confidence. We're just not listing with fear right now, which is a big step up for us. Usually we're marching to our doom confidently that it's going to end terribly. So we have a slight edge of positivity with what we're doing right now. Usually it's just falling on our face repeatedly, but this is okay. No one's on fire yet. So we've got our for loop. We have array, which has 3 parts to it, or multiple arrays. We're trying to access each one individually via our for loop through the arguments object. Very handy and cool. So there's that guy. Let's get a little bit of breathing room for better visualization. For the stream purposes, really. And then next, I think flattening is what I'd like to do. In my mind, concatenating the multiple strings. Definitely. So we want to return A concatenate B if B is different than A, or if A is different than B. Right now it's just checking for one thing right after another. Return A, which it would be 0. Concatenate B, which would be 1. Then on the next step, it would be return A, which would be 1, and then B would be 2. Concatenate that. So, since we're starting with an empty array that's not 0, A is empty, 0 will be B, so that's different, so it will fall in. Okay, so now let's say we run into a 1 again. We've got 1 for A, and then we run into a duplicate of 1 for B. If B is equal to A, we don't want it to do anything. We only want it to concatenate if B is different than A. I feel like I want to change it. I feel like it's supposed to be AB in this order, A first and then B, and I should change my logic here, or what I'm doing. That way we can keep it as A and B in that order. But in my mind, currently, whatever feeble, delirious state my mind is currently capable of, this is what I'm envisioning. And then do this, concatenate onwards. Concatenate onwards. We'll see. Tophergates, what is reduce doing the way you have it written, or what do you think it is doing? Let's put it back. Currently, well, I guess I just kind of explained through the madness that I was envisioning. Right now, it's taking, we'll break it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got an empty array. A is empty. Oh, an array. B will be 1. A will be 1. Oh, we should put it inside it. 1 B, don't mind me, equals 2, and so forth. So this would be A, 1 and 2, blah blah blah. Fascinating, Stephen, fascinating. But this way the world can see inside your head. B would be, do we want to call it 3? Let's call it 2. Oh, I'm already running into issues. See, it'll be fine when it goes to check that same number again. A equals C. So this is, we're already running into issues. So this, because we run into repeats much later. We don't run into repeats back to back like this. Usually, there's a 1, 5 numbers later, or 4, there's another 1, and then 2 numbers later, there's another 1. See? It's wrong. So maybe we'll get there. That's a good question. So, but anyways, with the not, if A doesn't equal B, that checks out. This is empty, that's 1, it would concatenate and add it. Now that we have a 2 living in there, we look for a B. Since they're not equal, it would concatenate. They would live happily ever after. But since B, or since A is equal to B, it wouldn't add the extra 2. It would just keep the 1. But now my concern is when it's multiples, like this, when it's checking A, well, that's not the same as A, so I'm afraid it's going to add, at this point, 1, 2, 3, and 2, right? And it's just going to go on its merry way into sadness. Yeah, sad face. No one wants that. No one wants sad face. Boo. That's going to be us in 12 minutes. So we need to change that. Do we look for every? Maybe we filter? What would I do? How would we correctly check to see if any of the other integers, any of the other indexes in the final array that we're concatenating down here, flattened, are already in there? Index of? No. Has property. If blank has property, if flatten has property, don't add it. Yeah. No. Yes? No. Yes. Maybe. First issue, you are running reduce on arguments I, which would be the first argument, not the array of arguments. Crap. You're right. It's just going to happen once. It's not even going to roll over to the next one. It's going to start with every loop. It's only going to check the first one of each argument the way I have it. It's going to run through 0, and it will pull from 0. It's going to pull 1. Once it concatenates it, this is going to bump from 0 to 1. It's going to go to this array, and it's only going to pull the first one. And then it's going to concatenate the 5. So I'm going to end up with a 1, a 5, and then the third time around, I'm going to end up with a 2. I'm going to have this stupid final Frankenstein of an array that I have to turn in, and no one's going to know what to do with that. That's my answer. This is the path that I'm marching towards. Sack of shit. Okay. Good pro tip. So we should back out? Crap. Langley, hey, working hard, absolutely. Day 268, fun never stops here. So, since arguments, Topher, either, also, Langley, hopefully you're doing well, and thank you again for stopping by, definitely good to have you. Topher, either use a for loop or reduce. You don't need, but, oh, interesting. So I can keep nesting for loops, or I can keep using reduce. Okay. Since arguments is not an actual array, you first need to cast the arguments object into an array, and then use reduce. Alright. So we should do we should definitely do that first. Since arguments is not an actual array, this is wishful thinking. All of this noise, which fortunately their example of 3 matches up perfectly with the 3 we have to deal with. So we need to break these up into individual arrays, which we can totally do. What if I were to split them? Can I do that? Would it break them down individually, or would it just break the arrays apart? That's interesting. Let's find out, Steven. Let's find out indeed. Anyways, since arguments is not an actual array, you first need to cast the arguments object into an array, and then use reduce on those. Okay, way cool, way cool. First things first, let's just comment out this abomination. No one wants to look at this right now. Just it's sad and alarming. We do want to take, because I'm curious, variable stuff equals array dot split. Very cool, very cool. And return stuff. Oh, boo. Not cool. Not cool. What about arguments? Hold on. We're terrible at spelling. We keep putting a U in frustration. Arguments. We keep missing the G. Why are we even bothering spelling right now? Arguments 0. Damn, those whores. I for sure thought I'd be able to split those. That would have been so cool. Next time. Next time. What if we simply return arguments 0? Yeah, some of that. Ta-da! That works. Well, we can do a for loop. Each time it returns 1, it can be a new variable. And we'll just make them new arrays. We'll just call them array I. See, we'll make it for variable array dot length You know what I just realized? We're missing something. There should be a curly brace after this, and there is not a curly brace after that. So I'm super concerned, both as a citizen of this planet and as a beginning programmer. Why those aren't there? Did I accidentally delete it in frustration? No. I don't know. For blank blank blank, it should have a family that it belongs to. Hopefully that's okay. Maybe that's why we were running into issues. Maybe. But let's go back to what we were looking at. Topher. Since arguments are not an actual array, you first need to cast the arguments into an object, still working that bit out, and then use reduce on it. I can't remember off the top of my head. Something like let args R equal array prototype slice call arguments. Interesting. Array.prototype slice, I'm familiar with slice, dot call. I don't think I've used call, but I can kind of envision what it does from its name, similar to slice. Call arguments. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So let's also give that a shot. Let me clear out this noise here. Final, eventually, will be what we will return. Well, final, blank, blank, blank. So let's do let array args. If we can get all the letters necessary to do this, let args array equal array dot prototype dot slice dot call dot not dot arguments. No E, Stephen. No E. Arguments. Okay, good. Let is available in ES6. Use a version 6. How about just variable? How about let's do args are. Yeah. That's very piratey. Very piratey. Let's try. Well, we'll see what happens. Let's call this copy just for fun to quickly test. Good. Anything happen? Oh, look at that. All of them. Very cool. Does it still work with variable? I would hope so. It does work with variable. I was just concerned. One has the hazard sign. Not that it's going to change anyone's day. Just comforting fact not having it floating there. More to the point, what if we did from there, so we have those. Now we can focus on our for loop. Although, what was I going to do before? I was going to set up a for loop. For blank variable final function. That's the function. This is the if. Good. Everything checks out as far as closing things go. Now we can change it to... I guess we can just do args array. We can go through all of them. No. Oh, I told you that because I thought you wanted to reduce. Right. This and all the reduce stuff. Copy. Cut. I think it will be able, or it will be easier to reduce. I just want the nightmare to be over with. But mentally, I'm not. Well, that is a lot of stuff. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. At least it's functional-ish. Now I just need to kind of tweak the logic a bit. So now that I've got that, if args array, can I reference it on itself? Copy. If args array has dot has own property, B, is that wrong? Is it wrong to single out B like that? I feel like it is. I feel like we're overly being. If I don't think this is gonna work. Or I should look for repeats. I need a different thing. I think I'm confusing myself. I wanted to see if it already existed. Like if it had the 1 already. It has the 1 and we're adding them to the args array. So I wanted to see if it could check to see if the args array already had a 1 in its company. And it's a crazy idea, I realize, but that's... We need to make A and B work together. Langley, UK, read the reduced documentation. Pay close attention to the parameters. Pay close attention to the parameters. A, comma, B, do something. Let's go up. Let's see, how reduce works or the description. Let's do description first. Parameters. Callback. This guy, an initial value. So, callback function to execute on each element in the array, taking 4 arguments. Accumulator. The accumulator accumulates the callback's return values. It is the accumulated value previously returned in the last invocation of the callback or initial value, if supplied, see below. Current value is the current, so that's the A that builds. The callback is the A that builds, so it remembers everything on its own. Okay, so that's cool. So I guess we could just do A dot has own property B, but that's still crazy. Let's keep reading. Current value, the current value element being processed in the array. Current index, if the current element being processed, the index of the current element being processed in the array starts at 0 if initial value is provided, and index 1 otherwise. Fair enough. Array, the array reduce was called upon. Initial value, optional. The first one's called back. If none supplied, it'll start. Yeah, okay, cool. The value that's returned. So I think the accumulator here is what we can really benefit from. The other option is to use... What is it? It's not copy. What is it? Concatenate, not copy within. Every is all of them. That's not going to fly. Was it for each? one of them returns a -1 if it doesn't find it. Is it for each? Oh, either, okay, it's either for each, includes, or index of. For each, includes, index of. I think it might be index of, but because we've done similar stuff before where we're looking for something and then we do like, if it doesn't return a -1, we tell it to not add it or add something. Copy push push item for each item. Prototypes includes true and false. Let me see what's going down in chat. Langley at the top of the page. Oh, that was for whatever I was looking at initially. Reduce. Good. Top of the page. Right. Check. Noted. So there was that. And then we were on our scavenger hunt. Topher. Inside reduce, you can flatten the arguments array with concatenate and filter out duplicates with filter like return A concatenate B filter function I return A index of equals -1. Ah, cool. Langley, UK, do we just blurt out the answer? Yes. Whenever you get sad and start getting frustrated and feel like I'm chasing my tail, which that feeling sinks in about 4 minutes into the stream, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you need to help out, because I just jumped over to OBS. It's been 52 minutes, and I'm 97% sure if one were well equipped with the right tools and know-how, this should only take about 2 to 5 minutes, not 52 minutes. So yeah, that's that. Variable args, blah blah blah. Okay. So we don't even need the if because it's already checking because reduce is cool. That's what Topher's pointing at. And Langley has a fun answer as well. Set array prototype slice call arguments dot reduce function array item return array concatenate item. Fascinating. All right, good times. Don't mind me. I'm gonna do them in the order received. So Topher's. Right now, inside your reduce, we can flatten the argument. Good. Return A, concatenate B. We can ditch the if, since we're already reducing. It is basically a for loop and a given kind of if statement guide on what to do, what to look for. It knows how to hunt, because it was born to reduce. It already knows that. It has that skill built into it. So we're going to take advantage of that. Return A, concatenate B. Inside of B, we do dot filter. Another method. Topher getting cheat codes in chat. Yeah. Graysol. If you like this kind of stuff, you should check out LeetCodes. The puzzles are a lot more interesting / fulfilling. Okay, good. I take it LeetCodes would be closer to Code Wars, probably. That's what I would assume, because Code Wars has a bunch of interesting puzzle-y challenge ones. Again, all are probably basic. We're trying to climb our way up the ladder, but we've been stumbling upwards. It's pretty hard to stumble upwards, but we've been doing it for about 200 days. But we can definitely add LeetCodes to the list of things to check out. So filter. We were doing that. Function. Did we spell function correctly, or is that its evil twin? No, that's function spelled correctly. I curliness. Wow, all kinds of fun here. How many? Why do I have? Oh, it's because of the additional function. I was like, why do I have so many parentheses here going down? And what are they frustrated about over here? Expected a blank, saw blah. Do they need another? Oh god, I'm going in circles. Maybe is it down here? I don't know how to help them. We'll worry about it later. We'll worry about all the closing crap later. Let's just focus on the task at hand. Okay, filter I, curly braces, return a index of, it is index of, for the -1. And if it is a -1, that's a good thing because that means it's not there. We are identifying the unique characters. That is what this is doing, which is essentially the key to building our unique list. Ta-da! Now, finding the closing tab, and then we can also add Langley's code as well. But let's first run this. Once Steven finds it, I will get there. Opening curly brace, closing curly brace. Check. Opening. That's the variable. So it will need a semicolon at the end of it. We've got reduce and the curly brace. It has all three things it needs there. Then we have return inside of it. You know what it is? It's this middle one. It's line 9. 9 doesn't belong. Ta-da! Look at that. The clueless guy found it. Took a while. True. But we found it eventually. There's this. Can we back that up slightly? It's so far away. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. And this can go here. Returning. Yeah. Yeah, bring some order and balance to the universe. Spectacular. Let's run that once. And I broke it. Bad Steven. Bad Steven. Topher, I think you have an extra curly brace. Yeah, definitely. Good call. You guys have much better eyes than I do, apparently. So I broke it because the index of I didn't check for anything. That's what happened. I was just aimlessly returning a index of nothing. That's what was going on. Ta-da, the crowd goes wild. Probably not. They're probably relieved. But relieved, excited, one of those. The other one that we had was Langley's, and I want to try that. Langley UK index of what? Yes. Yeah, see, everyone's watching. Everyone can see the mistakes except for Steven. Well, they see him about 2 to 3 minutes ahead of time. Sometimes 45 minutes ahead of time. The time frame varies greatly. So, Langley's, let's try out both. Don't mind me. Let's comment this out just for fun. They took the time to submit. We might as well check it out. very similar, the prototype slice. So we had array, prototype slice arguments reduce all the way up to, oh, no, bad Steven. This. Copy. But set, you were saying. Wow, and it all goes inside. You know, I don't think I've used set. This goes inside a curly brace and a parenthesis and a closing thing. Semicolon. I wonder, you know what, the extra parenthesis probably goes here. Yeah, because it's set. So double parenthesis. Like so. Fascinating. Okay. Cool. There's that bit. And then lastly, the functions are, instead of A and B, array and item. And with those at hand, inside that is the following: return array.concatenate or concat array.concat item and there's this. Cool. Although there's the code and that empty array thing, you've got another array lurking below. Oh, I totally didn't even notice there's the return. It's not array set, it's array dot from new set. Aha. We were missing crucial info. It was how it broke down in chat. Return array dot from new wow, so this is a whole thing. New set blank blank blank. I don't actually think we'll need this last return at the bottom, because this whole beast will return everything we'll need. Dear God, it's gonna get another. This is where that other set. There's 3 at the end. Holy shit. 3 sets of parentheses deep. There's no way I would have made it to that point by myself. Item. Somehow, after item, there is a curly brace with a comma and an empty bracket. A curly brace, a comma. Oh, one of those. 97% I'm confused, but that's okay. That is okay, we will get there. Missing a semicolon. No. 3. Curliness. Not sure which one I'm missing. Graysell. What are you working towards learning? Really, it's more of... I've used this example before. I'm doing a year of streaming and learning to code. It's not a goal to like become a developer in 6 months. It's kind of more of like what happens if someone decides to learn how to code without a roadmap. At this point so far, it's become more of, if we were to equate it to swimming, it's not learning how to swim, it's learning how to not drown. Back to the coding examples, it's just whatever I can do to code daily. So I've ended up going through, and we will tackle this because we're right on the edge, but since someone's asked, I started my journey at CodeAcademy. That was the first, oh my god, it opened up in some other window. We'll close out of that. CodeAcademy. Then we went on Code Wars, then we ended up at freeCodeCamp. CodeAcademy was the first like 150 plus days. That was interesting. We did all, oh, why are we not signed in? Not important. We did all of these free courses. Instead of seeing blue everywhere, envision a bunch of gray tabs with 100% across them. So we learned a whole lot of stuff from CSS and Sass to command line, Python, React, Ruby. We did all of the free content they have. They've added new courses like Introduction to Alexa recently. They've updated a lot of courses like Python and HTML. We will be returning back to CodeAcademy actually in the very near future since they've updated stuff. I think we're going to use those as sort of their initial activities, similar to freeCodeCamp. Oh god, where are we? Similar to freeCodeCamp in their sort of basic short lessons. Their little tiny cat, I love you. We're in the midst of finishing out the lesson and talking to people. So yeah, look this head touch. Yeah, lots of love. Boom. There you go. Being a good cat. Something about cats. freeCodeCamp. Oh, we're gonna take CodeAcademy's sort of their lesson seed, if you will, and kind of use that as the basis for our own personal projects, and we're gonna, like Legos, build them and keep piling them on top of each other. But anyways, after CodeAcademy, 150 days, we ended up at Code Wars, took on a bunch of challenges here. They've got all kinds of lessons and fun things, different challenges of sorts. So that's been fascinating. And then we wound up at freeCodeCamp, which has just been, I wouldn't say unending, but definitely fascinating. Yet again, you can see starting at HTML5, we've hit the reset button many a times on this journey, but I see that as an okay thing because clearly we're struggling with learning the fundamentals. And to highlight, it's not so much that we've been struggling to learn the fundamentals. How we've gone about our coding journey is we yet to do a lot of personal projects that will really drive home and cement those fundamental ideas. I have a hunch and a solution for a lot of the challenges and lessons we come across here on this odd journey that I've embarked on. But we're still working on building that confidence and consistency. But yeah, that's a thing. So, not the prettiest of answers, but that's just the truth. We don't really have a set goal. We are just sailing in the unknown sea of this coding adventure, taking it one day at a time. Sounds kind of bleak and scary, and that's exactly what it is. Alright. We were right there. I think, Langley, you can drop the empty stuff. Thank God. There's that. Which means we can probably ditch the comma. And just the 3. The end part looks like return array concatenate item blank 1 2 3 semicolon Yeah, good, good. Okay. Langley UK, Graysalt, just tried LeetCode. It's decent, though you have attempted to submit too soon. Please subscribe to reduce wait time is annoying. Graysalt, Langley UK, it helps encourage good practice, though. Forces you to think right through test cases instead of just making changes and seeing if that fixed it. Or money. Yeah, there's that. Code Wars is free. That's nice. Highly community driven. Still plenty of issues here and there, but Code Wars has been interesting. Alright, okay. Don't mind me. Let me make it one giant copy. We've had this. And regardless, I think we'll probably finalize or use Topher's as our final example. Since he took the time to submit it, I do want to check out the stuff. But new set, one giant massive line. Return set array. What if we get rid of return? That would be cool. Yeah, so all of that. We've got like 95. We don't need the 95. We have one. You know what? We're going to get rid of all the closing stuff because we can. Yeah, there's that. Beautiful, beautiful. So, we have one item for this. Yeah, I'm just confused and sad. Okay, the lines, new lines. It only looks like one line in my pace because Twitch doesn't have new lines. Graysalt, LeetCode is also free. I've done both, but the issue with Code Wars is a lot of challenges are poorly done. I have run into some of the most difficult challenges or difficult issues that I've experienced on Code Wars have been due to confusion of the lesson, very similar to some of the stuff that I experienced earlier with Code Academy. Some of the issues and quirks that I experienced were due to how the lessons were set up, but they did a fairly major overhaul this summer. So I think they've been moving and updating to, I think, newer systems and updating their lessons as well. So I'm looking forward to checking back on some of that updated content. But yes, alright, so if LeetCode is something that's polished up things, we will definitely do that. Brackets on 12 are the same, delete line 13. Oh, well that's cool. I was gonna go through and go, oh, we need a parenthesis here. Actually, I was gonna work my way backwards with that, and then some curliness, and 1 and 2 and 3 and a semicolon. 1, 2, 3 semicolon. I think return, which is probably what that is. So let's get rid of that. Yep, that works. We'll get rid of that. Ta-da! And look at that. Langley's works as well. My fault for running into some line issues. As fun as Langley's answer is, succinct and fun, yet again, for where I'm at learning phase-wise, it does still help for beginner Steven to visualize what exactly is happening. And this is definitely closer. the reduce to my initial hunch, but Topher's polished answer is closer to where I was initially going. And just the visualization, I don't know if it's the breakdown, but something about it, it's a bit more tangible for my mind to see what is going on. These early stages of coming to terms with learning to program. We will stick with that. We can get rid of the return. No, we keep return args. Almost deleted that. Would have been a pile of tears. The crowd goes wild. Everything is good. Pretty much the same, except a set data structure has no duplicates. So it replaces filter. Interesting. Interessante. Good to know. Yeah, because I don't think I had encountered set yet in my travels for the last 268 days. Not a lot of time to code, but just something I've noticed. We've been tried to be very observant over our last 260 plus days. So that is a thing. That is a thing indeed. How do we get to the next one? Let's close out of this noise. The crowd goes wild, barely. The crowd is muttering. That's what it should say. Alright, so for tomorrow or somewhere, could be Code Wars, could be freeCodeCamp, no one ever knows. We'll find out day of. Let's close out of this noise. Jump out of this into OBS. Why is that strong? There we go. Out of there into OBS. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream. Either just hang out, say hey, or to assist. Today we had quite a bit of assistance from Topher Gates. Well, in general, for everyone who at least shouted out in chat, we had Topher Gates, Glowstorm TV, Langley UK, and Bracel. And we had quite a bit of assistance from Topher Gates and Langley UK. All of that was definitely appreciated. Okay, we are in OBS. Day 268 comes to an end. However, the adventure continues tomorrow with day 269 of the year of streaming, learning to code. In the meantime, we are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Do it.